Hello, boys and girls, and welcome back to Miss Trisha's Virtual Classroom. I'm so glad to have you here today. It is story time, which means it's time to read a book. So let's get started with our presentation. I do the presentation so that you can see what I see on my screen. It's time to read a book. Come with me. It's time to read a book. Come and see. It's time to read a book. It's time to read a book. It's time to read a book. Come with me. It is story time. Welcome back, friends. Today we will learn all about worms and the letter W. Arms up if you are ready to learn. Arms up. Before we get started, let's go over our classroom rules. Make sure that everybody's a good listener. Show me 5 means your eyes are watching, your ears are listening, your mouths are quiet, your hands are in your lap, and you're sitting crisscross or comfortably on the carpet in front of your device. All right, so what's the first thing we do every day before we get started with a lesson? We like to sing and dance. And we don't sing and dance just because we like to do it. It's important for our bodies, and especially your little bodies, to get up and move. But why is it so important? It's important because it pumps our boom, 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 our heart, and our heart pumps the blood all the way to the tips of our fingers and the tips of our toes to the top of our head. And it pumps the blood to our brain. So that helps our bodies to sit still. It helps our brain to focus. It helps us get ready to learn what your teacher, Miss Trisha, wants to teach you. So let's stand up and dance. Sorry about that.
Music for a child's heart, body, and mind. Herman the Worm from Action Fun Dance by the Learning Station. I was sitting on a fence post, slapping on my left knee, chewing on my bubble gum, jump, 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 playing with my yo-yo, do-wop, 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 and watching the birds fly by. And then along came Herman the Worm, and he was this big. I asked Herman what happened, and he said,
I swallowed one grape.
I was sitting on a fence post, slapping on my left knee, chewing on my bubble gum, jump, jump,
He was that big.
jump, playing with my yo-yo, do-wop, 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 and watching the birds fly by. And then along came Herman the Worm, and he was this big. I asked Herman what happened, and he said,
I swallowed 2 apples.
I was sitting on a fence post, slapping on my left knee, chewing on my bubble gum, jump, 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 playing with my yo-yo, do-wop, 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 and watching the birds fly by. And then along came Herman the Worm, and he was this big. I asked Herman what happened,
And he said,
I
swallowed
3 grapefruits.
3 grapefruits.
I was sitting on a fence post, slapping on my left knee, chewing on my bubble gum,
Jump,
jump, jump, jump, playing with my yo-yo, do-wop, 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 and watching the birds fly by.
It's just what birds on her dress.
And then
That's
along
what
came Herman the
eats up
Worm,
the worms.
and he was this big.
He was this
I
big.
asked Herman what happened, and
He
he said,
said, I swallowed 4
cantaloupes.
cantaloupes.
I was sitting on a fence post, slapping on my left knee, chewing on my bubble gum, jump, 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 playing with my yo-yo, do-wop, 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 and watching the birds fly by. And then along came Herman the Worm, and he was this big. I asked Herman what happened. happened? And he said, I swallowed 5
watermelons.
I was sitting on a fence post, slapping on my left knee, chewing on my bubble gum, chomp, 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 playing with my yo-yo, do-wop, 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 and watching the birds fly by. And then along came Herman the worm, and he was this big up. I asked Herman what happened, and he said, I popped.
That's such a silly song. But that's important to have silly times.
The worm.
Because not everything needs to be serious all the time. All right, so the worm got bigger as he ate, and everybody knows that birds eat the worms, huh? So here's our book. It's time to read a book. Come with me. Parents, you can find today's readings at getepic.com under the books that were assigned to the classroom. I'll just take a minute. All right. Here are the words to know before you. Oh, doesn't. I need to charge my battery. Words to know before you read. I think it's begged, embarrassed, shopping, things, thought, torpedo, wanted, and wherever. Hold on 1 second while I get this plugged in to charge up my laptop so we don't lose power. Thank you, friends. All right, let's go to the next page. Oh, I'm sorry. Today's book is But I Want It. The author is Holly Karpetkova, and the illustrator is Bob Reese. And we all know who writes the words. The author writes the words. Let's say it with me in a deep, serious voice. The author writes the words. The author writes. And who draws the pictures? Let's say it in a high voice. The illustrator draws the pictures. You take your marker and you draw all over your paper. Words are small, so it's precise. All right, we're going to open our book like this. Little Worm wanted a lot of things. Whenever he went, he wanted everything. I need Super Worm characters. When Little Worm saw Bird's giant acorn, he screamed, I want a giant acorn too. What would you do with a giant acorn? You don't need it, said Mother Worm. When Little Worm's father took him to the park, he begged for an ice cream cone. No, said Father Worm, you don't need ice cream for dinner. But I want some, shouted Little Worm. Father Worm was embarrassed. Look at his face there. His eyebrows are kind of slanted a little bit. His mouth is a little, his eyes look a little embarrassed there. That night, Mother and Father Worm talked to Little Worm. Needs are things you must have to stay alive and healthy, said Father. Oh, like food and clothes. Yes, said Father. You don't need junk food and toys. Those are things you want. We get what we need, said Mother, but you have to stop begging for things you don't need. A few days later, Little Worm went shopping with his mother. Look, Mom, it's this new Super Worm movie. Then Little Worm stopped and thought for a moment. I don't need that, he said. Mother Worm smiled. After reading this activity, how do you think Mother and Father Worm felt when Little Worm begged for things? What lesson did Little Worm learn from this story? And can you think of something that you wanted but didn't need? And here are some words on a piece of paper. You can write sentences with each of the words you now know. Begged, embarrassed, shopping, things, wanted, and wherever. And here's the assignment for today. Divide your piece of paper in half. On one half, write wants, and on the other half, write needs. On the wants half, make a list of things that you want. And on the needs half, make a things of things that you need. Are there any things that can be on both lists, something that you want and need? So let's start our quiz. What did Little Worm want? Did he want nothing or did he want everything? He wanted everything. Who had the giant acorn? The bird had the giant acorn. What are needs? Things that you must have to stay healthy or alive, or just to have a desire to have or do something? Needs are things that you must have to stay healthy and alive. What are examples of needs? Are junk food and toys needs? Food and clothes are needs. And did Little Worm need the Superworm movie? No, he wanted the Superworm movie. We got 100%. Nice work. You're a superstar. Let's finish our book and see how many points we have. We got 179 points for reading for 6 minutes. We can close our book and go back to our presentation. Moms and dads, here are the questions that you can answer together. I know that some of you are having a hard time videoing and posting the video to the Google Classroom or Class Dojo. So just write the answers down and take a picture. What lesson did the little worm learn today? How did Mother and Father Worm feel when the little worm begged for things? And what is a want? And then here's the important part that you're going to take some time and thinking about together to go over what your wants and needs are. But make 2 columns. In the first column, write your needs. And in the second column, write your wants. So you can take a piece of paper and you can fold it in half. Fold it in half. And then if you want, you can even draw a line down the middle. And you can write wants and needs. So right now is important to go over our and review our wants and needs, because a lot of us might want to go outside and play on the playground. And we may even want to go back to school, right? But in order to stay healthy and to keep our germs from getting into the coronavirus from getting to us, we have to stay home. We have to social distance. And we have to wash our hands. So there's an example of some wants. We want to go outside, but we have to stay at home. We want to play on the playground, but we have to socially distance. We want to go back to school, but we have to stay home and wash our hands. But some other wants and needs, some wants might be junk food, but our needs are to eat 3 balanced meals a day, plus 2 snacks, just like at school, we have our snack time. Our want might be to stay awake all night watching Disney Plus. Who has Disney Plus at home? or Netflix or movies. But our needs are to get 8 hours of sleep. So there's an example of a list for your wants and your needs. You could do a list about your wants for the coronavirus and self-quarantine, or you can do a list about what you want to eat, or if you want to stay awake all night, you can make a list of the toys that you think you need and want. All right, that's today's assignment. Another assignment for Google Classroom is to watch the story of Superworm and take a video of your child repeating the chant from the book and upload it to Google Classroom. Superworm is super long. Superworm is super strong. Watch him wiggle, see him squirm. Hip hip hooray for Superworm. And if you guys can't get this video uploaded on Google Classroom or Class Dojo, you can try to email me. Send me a message and I will send you my email address on Dojo and we can try it that way. I also sent all the parents a link to upload their child's account on Class Dojo, so hopefully that will help. And an optional Google assignment, this is something for extra credit, construct an indoor obstacle course using pillows and chairs and boxes. Pretend you are a worm and try to wiggle through the course. Take a picture or a video to send it to your teacher. All right, now it's time for letter time. And today's letter of the day is W. Let me pull up. One second.
Words that begin with W.
Why does that always happen when I go to press play?
Have a woof sound. Like when and where, wish and wash, wind and wind and wound. Wilhelmina watched the whale while waiting in the water. When the whale went swimming by, a wave that whale made caught her. Wesley Worm was wiggling by while Wally Wolf was sleeping. Wendy Warbler whistled when she saw a wildcat creeping. Wackadoo, wackadoo, wacka, wackadoo, these wacky words that start with W. Wackadee, wackadee,
Wacka, wacka, wackadee.
W is the letter that follows B. Whoa, whoa.
Whoa, whoa.
Wonder which way to run, and whoosh went something weird. I wonder where that witchy went. Wonder disappeared.
Wow.
Wackadoo, wacka, wackadoo, these wacky words that start with W.
Wackadee, wackadee, wacka, wacka, wackadee.
W
Is
is
the letter after
that follows
B.
B. Whoa, whoa.
Whoa, whoa.
Here are a few more words for you.
Oh.
Wagon, willow and woo. Watermelon, winter, window and world all start with the wonderful W. And guess what? What? The word starts with W too.
The word word starts with W. Woo. Wackadee, wackadee, wacka, wacka, wackadee.
W
Is the letter that follows B.
Whoa, whoa.
Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa.
W.
W. Good job. I'm going to stop sharing really quickly because I want to show you the letter W and some words that you can write. Whale, witch, winter, worm, wonder, window, wiggle, wow, word. And if we want to write the letter W, it has 4 straight slanted lines. We start at the top and we slide down We go halfway up, back down, and go back up. Looks like kind of a upside down M, doesn't it? And then a little one is the same word, the same letter, same lines, but just smaller. All right, so that's our letter for the day. You guys can use your Play-Doh and you can make your letter W. You can even use blocks and you can build the letter W if you wanted. There's lots of different ways to make writing fun. It does not always have to be a pen and paper. Let's go back to our presentation really quickly. For our writing assignment. So write your full name, review the letter of the day. You can do that at www.starfall.com. Go on a picture hunt inside your house, and let's find the words that start with W. We went over some words like wonder. You could take a picture of yourself going, I wonder. Or take a picture of a window, or write a word and take a picture of the word. Or you could just write some words like worm, wiggle, watch, water. One of my students the other day sent me a book. They turned all the words into a book. Or you can make a story. Like, I wonder if the whale will eat the witch. So it's a sentence that has all the W words in it. So get creative with your W work today. Take a picture and send it to me. Thank you and have fun. Today was a fantastic lesson. I hope everybody enjoyed. You guys did a great job. Many thanks to the parents for always tuning in. And check back later today for our math lesson. Have a good rest of the morning, friends. See you later.